Hello guys, Brotherhood here coming at you with a new Yu-Gi-Oh video, and I just got back from the Brotherhood 1k1Day, and honestly, I did pretty well at the 1k1Day. I didn't top, sadly. I went X2 and came 10th, but even though I only came 10th, I feel like I did very, very well. Like, in all honesty, I think the deck that I played performed very, very well, which was the Phantom Knight build that I have in front of you today. I felt like the deck didn't have any really big downsides. The only times I really lost were, well, my opponent having the absolute nuts, or I just bricked. And that's really the only times I lost. And I thought, seeing as that's the only times I lost, I'll show you guys the deck profile, tell you about the matchups, and in general, just give you guys a deck profile, because honestly, Phantom Knights are really cool, they're really strong, and I personally think that it is one of the best decks of the format right now. So yeah, guys, we're going to be looking at my Phantom Knight list, we're going to be seeing what we did, and yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So, for the match reporting, so round 1, I played against the mirror match, I played against PK mirror match, I 2-0'd them. They made a couple of misplays themselves. He said that it was his first big event, and honestly, this is the first big event in 2 years, so I'm not really surprised. So yeah, we mirror matched and won that 2-0. Round 2, I played against Thomas Rose, and it was 2-1 to me, because in time I barbarred for game. Round 3, I played against Drytron, and honestly, the best thing about this entire match was that it was against a friend of mine, and in all honesty, he was surprised that I was playing a singular card, and because of that singular card, I won the entire match, because Crossout Designator is a good card, and that's what kind of won me the game 1, and then in just game 2, he won, and then game 3, I flipped Imperial Order, and he just scooped, and he was just unable to play the game. Round 4, I played against Tri-Brigade Lyralos, which was honestly a really interesting matchup. Game 1, I just full comboed, he was unable to play the game. Game 2, he full comboed, but I opened a hand of like double evenly, Forbidden Droplets, Red Reboot, no real way to play the game, and I drew into a Nibiru, so I just pretty much cleared his board, watched him try to play the game, and just grinded the game to a point where we go into game 3, and then in game 3, I won't lie, barbar for game. Like, that's pretty much how that match went. But yeah, game 1 full combo, game 2 he full combo, then just the game lasted a very long time, and then game 3 barbar for game. Round 5, though, I played against Sword Soul. Honestly, game 1, I went full combo, no issues whatsoever, was able to prevent him from playing the game entirely. Game 2, I went second, I bricked. I was still somewhat able to make a board, being that I opened a Forbidden Droplets and I was able to send a Cloak, and the Cloak was able to get me to some sword plays, like a Torn Scale and also boots and stuff like that. But like, I bricked game 2 and I was unable to play the game, and then game 3 I went first, and in all honesty, terrible hand. It was literally completely an unplayable hand. I drew like set 4 and pass with no real way to play any cards. So yeah, round 5, I pretty much just couldn't play the game outside of game 1 and just lost because of bricking. Round 6 was another Sword Soul mirror match, and it was pretty much that the only reason I lost round 6 was because, well, game 1, I went into normal combos, and my opponent ashed in a really awkward position where I've not really seen someone ash before, and they ashed my Graph when I sent it off the Cherubini, and because they did that, I wasn't really able to go any further. So yeah, I got ashed on the Cherubini, and, well, not on the Cherubini, but the Graph that I sent off the Cherubini, and was unable to play the game there. And game 2, I went full combo. Literally, he was unable to play the game, but he drew Dark Ruler No More and Cosmic Cyclone, Dark Ruling my Appaloosa, Future Draco, and Rusty Bardich, and also banished my Fogblade that was really just took away my ability to play the game from there, because I had 2 Torn Scales engraved, but no other monsters to banish. So yeah, pretty much that was round 6, and then round 7, I played against my teammate, which he was playing Guru, and game 1 was a 32-minute game 1. Game 2 was literally 5 minutes. We both sped up, we both played as fast as we possibly could, and I won due to like AA Zeus and stuff like that. And then game 3, I just made Cherubini, he striked it, realizing that no matter what he did, he was going to get burned for time. So yeah, that was pretty much the entire tournament results and matches. Honestly, every match I played, I felt like the deck performed very, very well, and I didn't really have any issues. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the actual deck profile so you can see what I was playing, and hopefully get a good idea of what the deck is like. So let's go ahead and get into it. So starting off, I'm playing 3 Torn Scales. He is a mandatory as free of in your deck because he's a starter card. He goes ahead and discards a card from your hand to go ahead and send any Phantom Knight card from your deck to your graveyard. He also is very, very good for the fact that when a Phantom Knight card is banished from your graveyard and he's in your graveyard, you can special summon him from your graveyard as well, but he'll be banished when he leaves the field. So he's basically one of your best starters in the deck. We also play 2 Cloak. You don't need to play more than 2 Cloak. This one is pretty much you just banish it from the graveyard and search any Phantom Knight. He is very good, and you want to be playing 2 of them because you don't really want to see him in your opening hand unless you're discarding him, or you have a way to get an additional extender on board. 2 Boots, because, well, I don't really think the third is required to play the deck, and honestly I have a lot of other cards that are extenders in the deck, so I only play 2 Boots, but he's also very good because you can go ahead and banish him from the graveyard to go ahead and add any Phantom Knight's trap from your deck to your hand, or spell, if you're playing a spell, which is really, really good. And 1 Greaves, this card is actually really, really good and came up so often, because of basically what this does is when you special summon a Phantom Knight, you can special summon it from your hand, and also when while it's in the graveyard, you can banish it to special summon any Phantom Knights from your hand. So he came up so often throughout the entire tournament, and I really liked him. I would not cut this from the deck, and I feel like he's a very strong one-of. And then the last Phantom Knight we played is 1 Ragged Gloves. Pretty much what he does is, while he's in the graveyard, you can banish him and then send any Phantom Knight card from your deck to the graveyard. So pretty much, this is the Phantom Knight engine. I like it the most, like at this ratio. I don't think I would change it. And I'm very happy with how this ratio was throughout the entire tournament. So yeah, those are the Phantom Knight monsters. Going on to other monsters, we played 3 Tour Guide from the Underworld. Sorry for the mixed artworks and rarity, but I don't have a third one of this. But we play 3 Tour Guide because she is very strong, because we're also playing the BA engine. Pretty much the entire reason behind the tour guides and the BAs is that you go ahead and normal summon the tour guide, you special summon a graph, you make Cherubini, and then you go ahead and summon the seal of the graph, and then you can go ahead and use Cherubini to send any of your Phantom Knights to the graveyard, such as your Cloak, such as your Torn Scales, just so you can go ahead and play the game through other avenues and go ahead from there. And honestly, Tour Guide is absolutely sick. Just being able to summon the graph from the deck and go full combo is absolutely insane, and it's just pretty much 1 card full combo because of that. So I really do like these Tour Guide, and I've not really had an issue with her whatsoever. We're also playing Jackalope and a Tsuchinoko, just as more extenders. Honestly, discarding Jackalope to summon Tsuchinoko, or just revealing it, special summoning it, discarding like a Fog Blade or something, or another Phantom Knight to go ahead and get a free special summon, is always really, really good, and the draw can come up very, very useful as well. And then we're playing 1 Wielder and 1 Tracker because we are playing the emergency teleports in the deck, so these are very, very useful as well. Those are all the level 3 extenders. Pretty much the whole deck is rank 3 turbo, so I'm playing as many rank 3 monsters and as many turbo monsters as I possibly can that don't really rely on anything but like maybe having another level 3 on the board or just being able to reveal and discard, so that's pretty much that as well. Going into hand traps though, we play 3 Ash Blossom, just the best hand trap in the format. 2 Effect Veiler. This was a personal choice of mine because I feel like Effect Veiler is really, really strong in this format for the fact that, if I do it on a Flunderies player, they end their turn if they don't have the field spell. If I do it on a Sword Sword player, if they don't have a way to go further without the Mo Yi effect, they just pass their turn. These cards are very, very strong, and I think Veiler is just a very good hand trap in this format, which is why I played that too. And 9 times out of 10 when I saw it, it did its job. It's just I obviously bricked against the Sword Sword players, so I was unable to play the game. But every time I saw it against them, it did its job. It ended their turn, and I was able to just try and play my best. So cards are very, very strong. Only monster hand traps though. Going on to spells though, we're playing 3 Crossout Designator and 1 Called by the Grave. Reason behind this is because I don't want to get hit by hand traps, and I realized very early on in testing that this is very, very strong in the Phantom Knight deck. Being able to banish so many different things that your opponent could potentially be playing, such as Forbidden Droplets, Ash Blossom, Nibiru's, Impermanence, Effect Veilers, or if you're in the mirror match, you could be banishing Fog Blades and stuff like that, which I actually did in the mirror match. Like, this card is very, very strong, Crossout Designator, and it's just a very good card this format that I think can come up a lot in combo-based decks, which is what this deck is. So it's just a very, very strong card in my opinion. And then obviously the Called By, because it's basically a 4th Crossout Designator, but better because you don't need to banish something from your deck. But yeah, other spells, we're obviously playing the free Forbidden Droplets. Card is absolutely insane. There's no reason why you shouldn't be playing it in the PK deck, because this card says you can send cards from your hand or field to the graveyard to negate anything. So negate Dragoons, negate a Utopic Future, negate like a Fleur de Lis or whatever. No, the Fleur Synchro monster that the Sword Soul plays. Like, this card is absolutely insane and it's guaranteed free of in the deck. We're also playing 2 Emergency Teleport because we're playing the Psychic package, so this is just an additional level 3 extender. This, like, 2 level 3s is generally how we go full combo, so this is needed in the deck. And then 1 Reinforcements of the army to search, like, the Shade Brigandine and stuff like that. Going on to trap cards, we're playing the free Fogblade and the Shade Brigandine. These are extenders and also just very good cards because they're basically additional monster negates. And then the Shade Brigandine is there because this is how we make Appaloosa going first 9 times out of 10. So we want to be having this in the deck so we can set it off the Rusty Bardage to then go ahead and make the Appaloosa with the Cherubini that will revive off the Sears. So card is very good. These can be very good in the late game as well, where you can just go ahead and banish them, especially when you Phantomite, to go into other rank 3 plays. But yeah, that's really all this is. This is just like Phantomite extending traps, which are really, really nice. And then finally, free Infinite Permanence because same thing with the Effect Veiler, the card is just very, very strong, and it's harder to stop because you can't call by it. So yeah, card is very, very good, and it can play around a lot of things. But that's the main deck. Honestly, I'm really happy with the main deck. I like how it is. Some things I might change about it because I kind of want to test Destroy Phoenix Enforcer and stuff. And honestly, I was thinking about playing Destroy Phoenix Enforcer before the tournament, but I just couldn't figure out what to take out, and I felt like going in with a build that I'm happy with, instead of going in with a build that's just like, okay, I could play this and it could do really well, but I'm not too happy with it and I'm not liking the ratios. So I felt like I go in with this and I'd be happy. And honestly, coming 10th with it isn't bad. I could have probably done better with a Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, but hey, I'm happy with it as it is. But going into the extra deck, we're obviously playing the Cherubini, best card in the entire deck, literally being able to send any Phantom Knight card from your deck to the graveyard, or any Burning Abyss card to be able to go ahead and go full combo is absolutely insane. Card is nuts and I love it. 1 Rusty Bardage because this card just says set a trap from your deck, send a Phantom Knight. Like, the card is absolutely insane and comes up quite a bit. 1 Appaloosa because I like negates. This makes 3 negates, and if I make this with Draco and 2 Fogblades, then that's 6 negates, and there's no real bad thing about that. Like, honestly, a Sword Soul player should not be able to play through that, and when I made that board, a lot of people just scooped because they couldn't play the game. So yeah, very strong card. 1 Boros Soul Dragon, didn't make it once. Honestly, I'm probably going to cut it if I put Destroy Phoenix Enforcer in. I'll cut this for it because this just did nothing. It wasn't relevant the entire day. 1 Underworld Goddess, the card is very good. It came up once, but that one time it came up, it got rid of a Dragoon, so I was very happy. It did its job, and I was very happy with it. Honestly, I think I'm going to want to make the card more, because there was a lot of times throughout the tournament I was like, I want to get to 4 monsters on the board just so I can go ahead and clear something on the board that's just a real big issue, and then make this, because it's just a really strong card, and especially against Phantom Knights. Actually, no, I made it twice. I made it against both the Phantom Knight matchups. I made it to get rid of a Dragoon, and I also made it to get rid of a Redoer because of, like, it was on the board and I could get rid of it. So card, it was very, very good. 1 Fortune Tune, I never made it. I just didn't make it. Like, it didn't come up, so it's just here. 1 Dante, card is absolutely insane with Seer, just being able to send the Seer to grave, summon the Dante back the Seer. Really, it was the reason I was able to win round 4 against the Tri-Brigade Lyrillus player, because I was just kept looping the Seer and the Dante and he just wasn't able to kill me. So that's just really, really good. It allowed me to win game 3, win that match. 2 Levianeer, the Sea Dragon, because this card says you can go ahead and special summon any level 3 monster or level 4 or lower banished monster, so I literally just use it to go ahead and revive any level 3, then summon another level 3, make Dante, and go into the Future Dragon. And honestly, this card is absolutely insane and I love it. 2 Breaksword, because Breaksword is just really strong as well, for the fact that you can just go ahead and pop a card you control and a card your opponent controls, or if it's destroyed, just summon both monsters back. Honestly, I really like this card. It's something that I didn't really make both of them very often, but when it came up and it was very, very good when it came up. So card is insane. I think the card is definitely a 2-of in the deck. One downed magician, because the card says I make it on another rank 3 and then go into Zeus to make it a 4 material Zeus. Really the only reason I play it. It lets me make 4 material Zeus. One utopic future with a Draco, because this is another monster negate that can't be destroyed by anything pretty much, and can also just steal my opponent's monsters. Like, if you activate this on a Mo-Yi, steal the Mo-Yi, and they have an extender in hand, then they can't play further than that. So yeah, pretty much very good. And then the last extra monster is Zeus. I made it like twice, 3 times maybe. Honestly, the card is insane, but I just didn't use it very much because my boards were just always insane. So yeah, but that's the main and extra deck. Honestly, the only thing I might change is the putting DPE in, because Destroy Phoenix Enforcer is a very strong card. But onto the side deck, because that is actually a relevant topic as well. I played one Barber. I won like 3 matches with this card. Going into time and just dropping the Barbar is absolutely insane, and I honestly couldn't believe it when I did it half the time, because wow, Barbar just performed. It did really, really well. 2 DD Crow, I put it in against Drytron but didn't see it. I put it against the Phantom Knight matchups but didn't see it. And I put it against the Lyralust player, which I banished with a cross-out designator so my Barbar would resolve in time. That's the only time I used DD Crow, but the logic behind it is it can banish Phantom Knight cards, it can banish it can banish Phantom Knight cards, it can banish pretty much any card in Grave, it can banish Drytrons, it can banish just a load of different stuff, so the card is very decent. 2 Lancia, dropped it, saw this once the entire tournament, only put it in twice. Like, the card is very good, but I just didn't use it very often. 2 Nibiru, this is pretty much for the crossout target, and also because if I do go up against a combo deck, I can just drop it on them. I did it once against the Tri-Brigade player, and that cleared his board, but it didn't win me the game because that was game 2. And the card was just very good outside of that. Like, just give my opponent a big body, it's fine as long as they don't kill me, and then I just kill them on the following turn, as long as I can kill the token. Then 1 Duster with 2 Lightning Storms. Honestly, I sided these in once, and that was just against my teammate Tom in the final round because I wanted to win, and yeah, just clear back row. Like, the card, honestly, I'm debating not even siding these, but you kind of have to, because if you do go up against the back row deck, it's really, really good. 1 Imperial Order, drew it twice throughout the whole day. It didn't win me a match, and then it won me a match. Yeah, pretty much was that. 1 Red Reboot, I'm cutting this card from my side deck. It was not good at all, and whenever I saw it, it just didn't help, so yeah, I'm probably going to cut it. And then 1 Eat, pretty evenly matched, because yeah, clear the board is pretty good. But guys, that's pretty much all I have to say. Like, honestly, the Brotherhood 1k1Day was a really, really cool event. I was very happy with how I performed. I was very happy with how I did, like, especially seeing as it is the first event in like 2 years where I was able to play the game again. And honestly, even though I didn't come top 8 and lost out on like 50 quid store credit or something like that, I knew I only lost because, well, 1, I bricked 2 games in a row, which is, it happens, I can't really complain about that, and also 2, because, well, 1 obscure play, which honestly can make sense at times, because if you can't go further from there, you do kind of lose, and then just opponent open the nuts. Like, that's pretty much it. But outside of that, the deck performed insane. I was very happy with the performance of the deck. I'm definitely going to play this deck more. I'm at locals and stuff, and see if I can fine-tune a build that I'm very happy with outside of this, like maybe with the Destroy Phoenix Enforcers, or maybe try some other extenders in the deck, because honestly, even though the deck performed very, very well, I feel like there's still improvements that could potentially be made to this deck. But guys, that's just my thoughts and opinions. Honestly, I really did enjoy playing this deck. Tell me what your thoughts are on this deck in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. And yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Robot1 signing out. Later all. PK is fun, that's all I can say.